Morning Year 11, my name is Mrs Sims and I teach A-level business at Ashton Sixth alongside Miss Cutts. So the first thing we're going to look at is what the word business actually means, and a business really is an organisation which is designed to provide goods and services to consumers, businesses and the government. So if you have a look on this slide, and you will see that I've also included some examples of the key functions, the key specialist areas in business, like marketing through to finance. And those are sort of the functions that underpin the A-level business course. And those are the sort of areas that we look at while studying the course. So you're probably also wondering what you're going to study in A-level business. There's a list of topics on slide 3, and you can see the topic areas, lots of them are organised into the functional areas we mentioned on slide 2. For instance, there's operations, human resources and finances. So, have a good look at those. And if you click on those links, they are actually hyperlinked into AQA's website and will give you a bit more background to what the topics we actually look at on the course. So lots of students ask me what kind of students study business studies and A-level business studies. So for some of you, you may have studied a BTEC or a GCSE business studies at Ashton Park, or you may well be from another centre. And you might already know some of the basics, but for other students, this may well be a brand new subject area. So obviously with new learning comes challenge, and you may well, have some setbacks and knockbacks along the way. So you need to be really resilient to be able to be successful on A-level business studies. You also need to be organised, and I would say you need the ability to work independently in any A-level. But, in business studies, we do some group work, pair work. So you need to be willing to work as part of a team, often with people you've never met before. You also need to be able to ask why, and I do like to have students who challenge my ideas in the lesson, so that is fine as well. And also, a student who maybe has an interest in the world in which we live in, the business world in which we live in, how the economy's doing, and to really be interested in maybe watching the news and what's going on in the business world in which we live in. So in terms of exams, we can talk about these a bit more when we start the course or when we go through the course. There are 3 exams. They are 2 hours each. They are equally weighted, and by that I mean they are worth the same percentage each. There's a range of questions in the exams, from multiple choice to large essays. And you are going to need to write essays and longer answers. It is an academic A-level, therefore you will need confidence in English. And maths is also as important, because there can be lots of financial calculations in the business studies exam. But if you tap into Google AQA A-level business studies, I've put a screenshot on slide 5, and you can see it is the first link that comes up. That is the course we are offering at Ashton Sixth. Okay, so we're going to get on to doing a bit of a taster lesson now. So if you look on slide 6, you've got some key concepts and explanations, definitions to match. So if you could match those up, either with arrows or writing them out. This would be a typical starter for a business studies lesson. We also do a range of multiple choice, but this would be maybe one example of the kind of activity we would do at Ashton Sixth to start the lesson. Then the next activity, there is a YouTube video to watch there, which briefly explains the different types of ownership. And, what you could do from that is think of your own 2 business examples for a sole trader, a partnership, a private limited company. Those types of businesses end with LTD after their name, and public limited companies, and those type of businesses end with PLC at the end of the business name. And then if you could choose one example for each type of business and have a look on the business website, see if you can find some aims and objectives. And if you want a bit of challenge, and we always have extra activities and challenge built into all our A-level business lessons at Ashton Sixth, you can have a look at a video clip which is on slide 8 about the Big Issue and the founder of the Big Issue, John Bird. And that's an example of a not-for-profit organisation, which is a different type of business again. And maybe you can think of your own examples and then also have a look at the aims and objectives of one of your not-for-profit organisation examples. And you might want to compare that example with one which is a profit-making organisation from your previous slide. And I have included some further reading websites. Some of them are news website. Have a good look, have a good explore of what's going on in the world around us, what's going on in the business world around us, particularly with COVID at the moment. There's quite a lot to look at. So, do explore some of the links on slide 9. And, lots of students who come and study A-level business, who ask about A-level business, ask, what can I do with A-level business after Ashton Sixth? And the answer is the possibilities are endless, really. I've put some examples on slide 10, but I'm sure you can think of a lot more. So lots of our students go into banking. We've had a lot of students go off to university and study courses like accountancy, economics. We've also had lots of students gain really, be really successful in higher level apprenticeships and, end up working for different councils or end up, going into banking after that, or, jobs in marketing. So the possibilities really are endless. There's lots of, it's quite, quite a broad A-level to choose. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me, amysims@ashtonpark.net.